welcome back to the channel. So today I'm going to be touching one of the topics that I got on Instagram. I told you guys I was doing 2 topic videos in collaboration with Westkiss Hair. So the hair that I'm wearing is from Westkiss Hair and it is their body weight hair. I have 18, 20, 22 and then an 18-inch frontal that I did style and just, you know, put it together and make it look good. So in the other video that I did, the other topic video I did, I do go over, you know, my experience with the hair a little bit before talking, but I didn't want to do that in 2 videos because it doesn't make sense. So the links will be in the description if you guys are interested in this hair. So this topic is about how it's been so far having a premature baby. I didn't expect to have a premature baby. I don't think anybody does, unless they just know it's like a high-risk pregnancy or something like that. But he's starting to eat his mittens, so I'm about to go warm his bottle up and then I'll be right back. Set. So, I'm gonna continue talking while I feed him, but so for me, I had him at 33 weeks, which is considered, okay, Bryson, he's wiggling. Hold on, here, move your hand. He's trying to eat his hand down, look. Okay, here. I'm literally trying to get the hand from the face. Give me the, here. Here's the nipple. Some hair. Okay, so, I had him at 33 weeks, which is considered preterm labor. And if you guys want to know how my labor was, you can go on the video where I talked about my C-section and stuff. But because I had him at that time, he was much smaller than he is now, and he had to stay in the NICU for 3 weeks. But he ended up going back to pediatrics, to the pediatrics part of the hospital, because his weight wasn't gaining after 2 weeks being home. So it is very stressful from the start, just because you have a new baby and you were expecting to be pregnant for 6 more weeks. So that alone in itself was stressful. And the second part that was most stressful was having to be in the hospital so much, on top of healing and on top of pumping for me. So usually doctors, the nurses and stuff, and lactation of the hospital, they would recommend you to start pumping if you were interested in breastfeeding. And for me, they had me doing it 8 times a day. They were trying to push 10, but it was really hard. And at first I didn't want to do it, but that is another topic. I have a video on my breast pumping journey so far. So that was stressful and very draining because it takes a lot of energy from you, because you know everything that you eat and drink goes to them through the milk. So that made me really exhausted and I hated it, but I did it for him. And I actually built a really nice milk supply, which is why I'm probably going to be stopping the end of this month, just because I feel like I don't have a life, because I have to pump around the clock all the time. So that is why. But the other stressful thing is just having to deal with postpartum and be back and forth at the hospital. So there would be times where I would be like super sad for no reason and I would not understand. Like, it's just now getting better somewhat. But literally, hey Bryson, you need to wake up. He is half asleep. You need to wake up, honey. Oh, he really does sleep when he's drunk almost. So, being, you know, dealing with all those hormones and all the changes and stuff, it's really hard when you have to, like, it makes it 10 times harder, because it's like you're pregnant again. Like, you just cry for no reason. You can literally cry for hours. I remember once I got discharged and came home, I was crying so much, and it was just like, I would be like, why am I crying? Like, it was random. So that was really challenging, because I just felt like really sad. I didn't have like psychosis or try to hurt myself or him, so I was really happy about that. And having them in the NICU for those 3 weeks or however long, sometimes it's full term, sometimes it's not, but having them in there gives you time at home for preterm babies to get stuff together, so that helps me a lot to have him staying there, because I didn't have to worry about trying to talk to me. I didn't have to worry about wake up, please. I need you to wake up. I'm still trying to sleep. That's just fat, trying to eat and sleep. So that did help, and it made things 10 times easier, but I still wanted to do a baby shower and all that, but I just didn't, because it was just so much I had to do, like, and like just getting back to yourself, it's a lot. So having a baby that comes early makes that 10 times harder. But I am glad that I had him when I had him, because honestly, if I had him on the due date, which was March 30th, I probably would be worse and stressing right now. I also want to say, I feel like one of the challenges for me was the weather. It was really like ugly outside and snowy and stuff, so being in the hospital, having to stay there and stuff, it wasn't like the best experience. It was kind of just like, you just felt, you know, like when you just feel like groggy and you just, I don't know, I hated how I felt. Like I barely could sleep because it was a lot of anxiousness and stuff like that. So when it comes to the nurses in the NICU, they do take care of your baby, but me being a first-time mom, I was just worried. Like, I would get like sad when I left the room, even though I was down the hall in the guest room, or I always felt like if somebody was sick and sneezed or something or coughed, that they would get him sick. It's just like, you don't want them to be sick at all because they're so little, and you know, they're not supposed to be here. They're supposed to still be in your belly at the time. So it's just like, that probably was the worst part, I'd say. Having that anxiousness and just being scared that they would get sick. It's just like, it's not because they will, it's just because it's like a gut feeling where you just like, okay, I hope you don't get sick, but you know it possibly could happen because germs are literally everywhere, and with their immune system being weak still, it can't happen if you don't take precautions. So I was not staying in the hospital at first. I did come home to get some stuff together because when I went to labor, a lot was crazy at my house. So I came back to do that, and then I ended up getting a guest room. I stayed in that room for about a week and a half or two, I can't remember. Then yeah, it was a week because other people need them. So stayed in there for about a week, and I stayed by his bedside for the last 2 weeks. So being by his bedside helped a lot. So if you do have a preterm baby, that's your best bet, to make sure you're in the hospital with them, because it'll ease your nerves, and you can see the nurses. The nurses will even ask you, like, do you want to change the diaper? Do you want to take his temp? Do you want to do, they want to make sure you're comfortable when you take them home. And for me, I was glad they did that because I know nothing about babies. I'm still learning, and yeah, so it was kind of like, I don't know, it was a good thing and a bad thing, but you'll start to realize that all that matters is that your baby is here, so you'll be really happy, and it does get better. So for a minute, I felt like it wasn't going to get better. Postpartum will make you feel like you're just stuck and your life is just over and a bunch of negative stuff, and it's not like that in all reality. So now he just made 2 months last week. I can say I feel a lot better. Some people still, you know, feel sad and stuff longer, but I'm glad that I feel much better. I haven't had any negative thoughts, sad thoughts, any of that, so I am happy about that. So having a baby that is premature is like, it's it's like having a really early puppy or something. Like, you have to just take extra care. There are challenges as far as if you choose to breastfeed, pumping and stuff like that. So it's like, it kind of seems like you can't really win for losing, and you got so much you have to do and keep track of, and it kind of sucks. But being with your baby and seeing your baby and just knowing that they're doing good, gaining weight and all that stuff, it makes you feel 10 times better. So I am happy that he's growing and getting better. He's now 6 pounds and 4 ounces, so he's getting there. And they wanted me to try latching and stuff again at 7 pounds, but I've been practicing latching on and off, and I don't really like it because with him being premature, he has really tiny parts, so my nipple is too big for his mouth, and he kind of chomps down on just the nipple. And then breastfeeding, they have to take some of your areola to get a good latch, and he just can't do that yet. And I don't know how much longer it's gonna be, but hopefully if by the end of this month it doesn't work, I'm just gonna dry my milk up and I'm going to just give him all my milk, because I promise, I swear, the stash that I have is literally enough for till he's at least 6-7 months. So as long as I can say that I did that for that long, you know, I feel good. But it's just kind of discouraging. That's another thing with a premature baby. You want to give them breast milk from your breast. You don't want to have to deal with pumping and stuff. But I'm learning that even if I did breastfeed him, I would still have to pump if I went somewhere or throughout the day if I got engorged. So I kind of want the weight lifted off of my shoulders, far as all of that. So I am glad and proud of myself that I did come this far, because I didn't see myself going past the first time that I pumped. So and he's doing really good. So the more you go, I'm trying to just take, okay, the further you go, you know, with pumping and other things, the better it gets. So that is just, you have to have a strong mindset when having a preterm baby. And it's really hard because you feel all these emotions, and it's just like, dude, when does it get better? But it gets much better. So yeah, having a preterm baby for me wasn't the worst experience, but if I ever do decide to get pregnant again, I would probably, you know, not stress, because that's what led to this. It's not good when you're pregnant to stress. That's really one of the most vulnerable times in your life, and you're supposed to be happy. So doing that caused me to go into labor early because it was just too much going on. So I am glad he's here though, and healthy and growing, so that's really good. But that is basically what I feel, and some of my advice, I guess, to other moms who have went through the same thing or are going through the same thing. It seems like it's not going to get better, but it will. So just stay encouraged and try to breast pump as much as you can, because even though you might be one of those people like me who have like a great supply and overproduce more than you're supposed to, and that helps just so you can have enough milk for him, because you get a deep freezer or your freezer 6+ months, it stays in there, or a year in a deep freezer. So you don't have to put them on formula right away. They're still going to be getting your milk, which is good for them. So anything you guys want me to talk about, any different topics, let me know in the description. In the comments. I'm so tired. Let me know in the comments any other topics, but this was another one that you guys wanted, so I did do it for you guys. And also, for those interested in this hair from WKLOVE Hair, the links will be in the description. And thank you guys for watching another video, and I will see you all in the next one.